What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of Bleeding BNG, a quick emergency podcast episode. Because if you're living in the DMV right now, you know it's looking like Hurricane Katrina outside. No offense to anybody that lost any loved ones in Hurricane Katrina, but it's raining cats and dogs outside. So I'm going to try to hurry up and get this one out for the people. And it's 11 o'clock at night. But that doesn't mean anything to Adam Peters and the Washington Commanders front office from being movers and shakers, even in the middle of the night. Because about an hour ago, Von Miller announced via his Instagram post first that he will be signing a deal with our beloved Washington Commanders. It was later aggregated by Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and some other NFL national media pundits, where they said that while the two haven't finalized the deal yet, every report is coming out that he's going to be signing a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders to hopefully ring chase. So we got veterans ring chasing in DC between Zach Ertz last year, Bobby Wagner, and Von Miller. Now we got veterans that are taking this opportunity to ring chase in DC, and it's because of one guy. It's because of one guy, and they believe that guy right there, the Golden Boy, number 5, gives them a chance. And this is something that you wouldn't have said, I was about to say 15 years ago. This was something that you wouldn't have even thought of 10 years ago. You wouldn't even thought of this during the entire Dan Snyder era of veterans with credibility in the league taking the opportunity to ring chase and looking at Washington as a contender throughout the NFL landscape. Now, I'll be the first to say that if you think we're signing the Von Miller of the 2015, Super Bowl MVP season, he is not that guy anymore. And you'll be a fool to think that 2015 was 10 years ago. And he's a guy that over the course of the last 2 years has had only 6 sacks. And 2023 was a dire year. I think he only accumulated 1 sack, if any, with only about 3 tackles. He had a little bit of a bounce back year last year where he had 5 sacks. And, he was with the Buffalo Bills, or the Buffalo Bills initially brought him in to be that closer of a pass rusher, to be a situational pass rusher, to try to get them over the edge. That hill and that edge for them was the Kansas City Chiefs. And for us, it's just anybody in front of us in the NFC, to be quite honest with us, because if you've paid attention to the roster, if you've listened to anybody in the Commanders community, everybody was in a dire mindset, and they were acting like the sky was falling when we went the entire 2025 draft without selecting an edge. So Von Miller's better than nothing, right? Even a washed up Von Miller. I will take 10% of Von Miller better than the guys that we had in that defensive end room right now. And to be quite frank and to be quite honest, if Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. can get a career year out of Dante Fowler like they did last year with him having 10 sacks, who's to say they can't get about what? I know Von Miller's a little older, but I still believe Von Miller could be at the age of 99. I still will take him as being a more talented player over Dante Fowler. Now, neither of these guys are going to set the edge and play the run really well, but Von Miller, he's that type of uber talented guy that he's going to make these flash plays every now and then that's going to remind you of his old self, of his prime self. And if I know the reports haven't come out, but if this is a deal that's the veteran minimum or towards the veteran minimum or near the veteran minimum, I think this is a steal of a deal. Now, I know everybody right now, they want Adam Peters' head on at a street light because they're telling him to pay Terry McLaurin. But, we got to keep it pushing. We got to keep it moving. And they address the edge position, something that we've been talking about the entire offseason. Now, is it with ancient Von Miller? Yes, it is. But even ancient Von Miller is better than the prospects of Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Dietrich Wise, rushing the passer and things of that nature. Those guys might be your first and second down defensive ends to hold up at the point of attack and to play against the run, where you're bringing in Von Miller as a situational pass rusher. And to be quite honest with you, I can't think of a better situational pass rusher in the NFL. Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's ancient. But Von Miller is 16th in NFL history as far as accumulating sacks goes for a reason. Von Miller wakes up rushing the passer. Von Miller, at the ripe old age of 36, can still get after it, can still apply quarterback hurries, and can still get after it. And when you're a contender like we expect Washington to be in 2025, you're going to find yourself in those specific scenarios, whether it be in a tight divisional game, whether it be in a wild card divisional round or a championship round game. Heck, even the Super Bowl. These are the guys that have shown up and played big when the lights are big. Bobby Wagner's a Super Bowl champion. Zach Ertz is a Super Bowl champion, along with bringing in a guy like Von Miller. Now, I've already seen it across Instagram and Twitter. They're already talking about how Von Miller is the latest addition to the Commanders' retirement home in Ashburn Park. But what they fail to realize is like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz found a fountain of youth when they came to Washington, D.C. last year. Now, I know that is something that we're not used to, players having better fortune when they come to Ashburn, but I'm pretty sure that Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz is going to introduce Von Miller to that same fountain, where if he can, like I said, only give us 4 to 5 impact plays where we're like, yeah, that's that prime Von Miller. To get us over the edge, you can't be mad at this signing. It's a 1-year deal. Von may be looking to ride out his career in the sunset with the Washington Commanders, hopefully chasing a ring, because that's honestly what he's been doing since maybe his first year with the Rams. But he was ring chasing with the Buffalo Bills, and now he sees the Commanders as a prime candidate to ring chase for. And I'm honored. I'm honored because, as I've said, I'll be 30 years old this year. I'm not used to players that have Hall of Fame caliber credentials wanting to come to Washington. So that in itself is an anomaly, and that in itself shows that it's a new day in Washington. Yeah, I want Terry McLaurin to get paid as much as the next man. But we got football people in the building. They're going to get the football things done, and signing Von Miller to a 1-year deal is a steal, and that's a football thing that got done today. So tell me how you feel about this signing. Von Miller is a Washington Commander. Do you think that this is the signing that ultimately takes us over the top? Or is Von Miller ancient and washed up, and this was pretty pointless, and he's just the latest addition to the Ashburn retirement home? Let me know how you feel about this signing. Von Miller is a Washington Commander for the 2025 season. I'll check in on y'all on the flip side. Peace. Matter of fact, no, I won't check in on y'all on the flip side because I got to toot my own horn. I got to toot my own horn because over 2 months ago, I actually mentioned that these were a couple of veterans that could be ring chasing with the Commanders. And I actually titled it, as you see on the thumbnail, Ring Chasing. I actually titled it Ring Chasing, and I talked about Von Miller in that episode. I talked about Von Miller in that episode along with Zadarius Smith, who's still a free agent, and Nick Chubb, who signed with the Houston Texans a little after I published this video. But Black Adam strikes again. There's a reason why I call myself Black Adam. And this is all the more reason why you should subscribe to us over here at Bleeding BNG, because we bring the crystal ball out every now and then. Like I said, back in the early 2000s, it was That's So Raven. Well, in 2025, it's That's So Jalen, because we don't miss in Ashburn. It's almost like we got a bug in the wall or something, or we the fly on the wall. So all the more reason why you should be tapped into Bleeding BNG, so you're not missing any of this content. And yeah, I'll check in on y'all on the flip side. Peace.